Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hello, ICPC friends. My name is Karolina Sajniak, and I would like to welcome you all to our fourth webinar of the ICPC Career Boost Academy. In today's webinar, we are going to talk about a very important topic about musicians' health. I'm sure all of you will agree with me that the environment of musicians' environment is frequently intense. And to be able to compete, we have to be in our best physical state and mental condition. Let me introduce you all to our fantastic guest speaker, Jadwiga Isia Śmieszchalska.
Hi. Hello.
Isia is a musician, a physical and mental coach for musicians, and a lecturer in music physiology.
Physiology, yeah.
She has collaborated with a number of musical and academic institutions, the iCulture Orchestra, the Polish Radio Orchestra, Pan-European Philharmony, the Chopin University of Music in Warsaw, University of South Florida, and Performing Arts Medicine Associations, to name just a few. She has implemented original projects in performing arts medicine there. She regularly advises and holds consultations with numerous musicians in Healthy Talent in Warsaw, which she founded with her partner, an osteopath, Mathieu Spencer.
Chiropractor.
Chiropractor. Okay.
It's similar. It's like Gemini, yeah.
Okay.
But it's not the same.
Yeah. So some personal thoughts about you and Matthew. I met Isia 5 years ago. It was very difficult time for me because it was just after my hand injury. I couldn't move my hand. I couldn't practice either. Nothing helped me, and I didn't know what to do with my life. And I felt completely lost and shattered. Frankly speaking, it is because of an amazing coincidence that I met you and Matthew, and I decided to give you a chance. And thanks to their hard work, slowly, week after week, I become much more aware of the problem and that I couldn't previously solve. My pain started to get relieved, and soon I was able to become much more aware. I came back and continued my studies in the music university.
And you finished it in a brilliant way.
Thank you. I'm incredibly happy that Isia found some time in her busy schedule of a new mom, shared with her work. The webinar should last 40 minutes, and there will be time for your questions afterwards. So, hello, Isia.
Hello, one more time.
Okay, so let's get started. I've got thousands of questions that I want to ask, so probably we will not end it till tomorrow, but, well, my first question, what does the physiology of music deal with?
Physiology of music generally means preparation, physical and mental preparation for musicianship. So it's pretty large, yeah? We need to be clear. Physiology of music is a term used in like German and Anglo-Saxon world, yeah, and in French languages like Switzerland, Canada. Then we use physical and mental preparation, which is much longer, but it's clearer, yes. So physiology of music is a part of performing arts medicine that includes 3 kinds of specialists: scientists, health providers, so medical doctors, therapists, and also another every health providers that we can imagine, because it's large, holistic holistic idea of the health, so health providers, and educators of specific methods, yeah, but also educators and educators of music, so music teachers. And in this field of performing arts medicine, I am an educator, I'm a teacher of music physiology, and then I can help musicians in 3 ways. So one, what is like the most, we would say, happy side is to make play you better. So you don't have to be injured, yeah? You don't have to have big problems with yourself to take some tools and use from today, yeah, from music physiology, because it's about knowing your body better and to be able to use your potential, physical and mental, yeah, in a better way. At the same time, we help people that are injured, that have physical problems to play, that are overused, yeah, or misused sometimes, just because it's not only about how much you practice, it's also how do you practice, yeah, and how it's not about how much do you perform, it's how do you perform. So we help people to get rid faster of pain, and we collaborate with other specialists to accompany person to come back on stage quickest possible, yeah, and in the best health. And the goal is to play better than before the injury, yeah. And the third field is about being able to play the DD, the very precise hour on your best. So this is all about mental preparation, yes, and also dealing with physical aspects of stage fright.
Yeah, so I hope we will talk about all these aspects.
We try.
Okay, so what are the potential consequences of many years of working with the instrument?
I mean, potentially, yeah, potentially it may be no consequences, maybe a brilliant career, but unfortunately, and this is proven by science, unfortunately, the statistics tells us that potentially it's a huge risk of injury, overuse, yeah, misuse of your body, so pain. And if we think about general musicians' pain, like diminution of your technique, so technique problem that you didn't have and then you start to have, tiredness, then numbness, tingling of your arms, or pain, yeah. It's according to, you know, which study you take, it's between 40 and 95% of musicians. So this risk is
horrifying.
I would say we shouldn't be afraid. We just need to accept this is sport. This is very demanding, extreme sport, and it's a part of our career. So it's good to know it exists, the injuries exist, and we can deal with this, and we can even play better afterwards. It's just like in dance, yeah. And what is also to accept, I think, it's just we can talk about this. I find it's less and less today like this, but 10 years ago, professional musicians were afraid to speak about their injuries because they thought it's something like dark side of they old problem. They are not good enough. They have problems. No, this is all about playing music.
Yeah. Okay, so it's tough to build a good relationship with our body, with our instrument.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah. Yes.
It was tough to you. Why? That's my
question. Because I get injured, you know.
Okay.
So till I met you, I didn't know how to deal with proper body technique and proper lifestyle even.
And the process that we did together to build this relationship between you, your body, and your instrument, violin, was it tough?
No.
Or was it pleasant?
It was pleasant. That's
the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal. But you know, I had you and our friends. I hope that you can manage to have a relationship with you via Skype, via your meeting with you in your Healthy Talent office. But can you tell us what makes a bad habit?
Bad habit?
Yeah.
I would say the crucial thing is when you are not conscious. So you're not conscious about the risk. So it's part of education. So this is just information. You can find education online. Yeah, you can find books. You can find. It's about knowledge about your body, how it works, what happens in your body when you play instruments, what happens in your body when you play too much or not in a correct way, and so and so. So this kind of knowledge, but it's also crucial to be conscious of your deep feeling of your body, what is called proprioception. So the deep feeling of your body. I would say it's crucial to the brilliant technique of any instrument. Coming back to piano, because I'm organist from my first background, so keyboard instruments are really my very close to my heart, and it's really super important to know how did you manage this super soft piano today without like looking on your fingers. Yes, it just, I know why it sounds so well, or I know why it didn't work. So this is the deep feeling of your hand, and before you go to this tiny movement of your fingertips, it's good to learn to feel your body in generally. So I know if I am sitting now correctly, comfortably, actively, and it's about really being conscious. I think it's crucial to answer your question. Yes.
Bad habits.
Yes, if you are not conscious of yourself, and if you don't have this education, then the bad habits are, you're just doing many things repetitively every day, day by day, doing years, and it creates your habits. Then you believe it's comfortable, but it is not natural.
Yeah, okay. Yes, and I've got the next questions.
Yeah.
Why are we musicians so tough to ourselves?
I can't speak about myself because I don't consider myself musician still, because I do not perform publicly since about 10 years. But I finished every single possible step of career, from tiny school, primary school to postmasters, and I was performing on stage with orchestra, solo, recording. So I was really tough on me, and when I was trying to discover this, I got injured as well, of course. What's so hard inside me, I would say I was not prepared to this kind of education. I know it's different from country to country, it's different in states, very different. However, music teachers very often do not have time, or do not take enough time to tell us what's okay, what's good. We are kids, we start our career very, very early. And at that time, teacher is so important as parent, and sometimes more important. So we practice and we go to the lesson, and we are so happy we can play this scale, and we play this scale with the right hand, and then we say, yes, and now we need to play with both hands. So then we come back and we practice and we practice and we practice and we play with both hands, and we finally arrive to the lesson, and now faster. And and in this way you go through your competitions, through your academic exams, and it's each time when you reach the ideal you were told, then you learn the real ideal is higher. So you try to jump, and once you reach the goal, somebody you trust and who is professional and you like very much usually tells you, but it's not really here. You need to work more. What means that we put in our head this condition that we are never good enough, and that there is never rest, and there is never the moment of being good enough, and have a prize yourself, the moment to prize yourself. I think it's a system of education, and even if you have private lessons, it's very often like this, because teachers are often so deep in music and sometimes not aware about possible injuries of musicians, also psychological injuries. that they don't take time to tell you, good, you did a good job, so now praise yourself, do something for you, and then we go
and take a break.
And it's also, I think it's also the very important risk factor of stage fright.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we learn is that each prize, each success means more work,
mm-hmm.
harder work, and more risk for the next time. So I think this is the mechanism.
Yeah. So what makes a good practice?
Oh, wow. Simple question.
Yeah.
Simply answer. So I would say connection with your body. So knowing yourself, and also knowing the momentum of your lifespan, because and to be aware that if I am, for example, I'm passing through the very difficult personal moments,
mm-hmm.
then I cannot demand myself to play much more. And sometimes we do, yes, to forget.
Yeah.
Because my body is tensed naturally, yeah. So the work hygiene, it means to know the moment, how much you can play according to your actual physical and mental possibilities. Yes, we play differently when we've been injured last month.
Mm-hmm.
We play differently if we slept perfectly well, and differently if we didn't sleep at all, like me with my baby, for example, sometimes. It means also like the hygiene of work. It means also very I would say clear rules that you do not mess up, never. It means warm up, and it means regeneration. Warm up always before playing, and with the piano, because we produce sound very easily. Like you just press the button, you have sound. Of course, you can make a beautiful sound of note, but you maybe not warm up enough, and then you can still play piano. Trombone player cannot, or the singer, if they don't warm up properly.
Mm-hmm.
So piano, it's not. It is an instrument at risk. Then also educational aspects. We've been playing so many scales and etudes in our life that we are fed up with this, and we think, okay, I'm finished with my studies, so then I don't have to do it, and that's not a good idea. Because starting playing piano should be delicate, should be searching the nice sound, something you like to play out, and violin the same, yeah. Easy, middle tempo, middle dynamics, and then you start to go maybe like this, more and more difficult stuff. So it's warm up, and on a certain level of professional player. Warm up at the piano, from my point of view, is not enough. You need kind of warm ups that will bring to your tendons and to your joints possibility to produce the liquid. Yeah. And you can produce this liquid if you are hydrated. Okay. You need to drink a lot of water. Really a lot of water, and warm up. Then
so a lot is 1 liter.
I always I try not to give numbers, because music is not about numbers. And if we want to rely on science, I always would like to know who was paying for this research. Is it a bottled water production producer? So it's like, but there is a nice tip you can try from today. It's not going to be nice as an image, but it's really, really useful to be aware of the color and the smell of your urine. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you go pee and your urine is darkened than the very, very light yellow, like yellowish, I would say, transparent yellowish, and if it smells badly, then you don't drink enough, that's sure. And we need water. not sugar drinks, not coffee, not tea, not alcohol. I mean, water. Yeah, I would say from my experience, it's for an adult person with an average size. Yeah, it would be at least 1.5 liter of water per day, beside other beverages.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes when you go to extreme, like
Exam,
but also tournée, if
Mm-hmm.
if you go playing, if you take plane the same week few times, and you practice in air conditioning and without windows, and you play and heating, like in Poland now in winter, then I would say we can go up to 1 liter per every 25 kilos per day. Yeah, so if I have 50 something kilos, it's at least 2 liters of water per day beside other beverages. So let's come back to the healthy practice. So watering is very connected to warm up, hydration. And at the other side is regeneration. And I think it's a big sin of musicians that we think we will regenerate, we will
get rest during
after once we did the stuff, once we have time, and the time comes never. So we should have a habit. I finished my practice time in a way that I slow down, dynamics, tempo. I never finished the practice, even if you finish the lesson and you continue playing afterwards with the hugest fortissimo and prestissimo. Why? Because if you cool down in this moment, your shortened muscles, because they shorten during practicing, will stay shortened. Yeah, they need time and some stimuli to get length, normal, natural length, and then regenerate at least like 5 minutes. You may lay down on the ground, do something to yourself. And I think this is like the healthy practice. It's to be very strict about warm-ups and regeneration time and hydration, and to be connected to your body and to the moment of your life, and to like really organize your practice time according to your actual physical and mental state.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe now it's a good time for asking you, can you tell us something more about Pomodoro Technique? Because this is a very good technique for our musicians.
It's very famous technique, and I used to, it's easy for me, it's an easy tool because I don't have to work, and I just send the link, and then people, Pomodoro Technique, it's not my book, and sorry, I do not remember who wrote the book. It's very old, I think, but it's perfect. It helps us to stay focused, and to organize priorities, how to train. It's not for musicians, so you need to translate it to the music language, but it's a beautiful book. You can find it in the internet and download it in a PDF file, and it helps you to understand how to organize your many stuff to do and how to use the time. So short parts of the time you use your mobile phone or something to ring, and to ask yourself, is it still so important? I think Pomodoro, it may be too long. I just advise you, if you want to find a new way or something kind of inspiration to your organizing your practice, and you can have a look on this. And if not, it would be random training, what I advise. It's even tinier than Pomodoro, because random training gives you slabs of time from 3 to 5 minutes. And it's like about, usually when you go to the practice room with the big piano, you don't have too much time with this big piano, and so then you take the first thing difficult to play, and you practice, and you say, okay, I need to play something else also today. So you take the second one and you practice. And then you say, no, it's not a good day for this. So I take the problem C and I practice. And then over time, you need to leave the room for somebody else. And it means that you've been practicing, like I would say, I don't know, maybe half an hour one and 20 minutes the other and 40 the other. And the random training is the opposite of this technique. It would say, choose at the beginning of your practice time, choose the problems you want to train today. It would be nice that the problems are not connected in between, like different style, different technical problems, yeah, different pieces, different tiny parts you need to train, and train them from 3 to 5 minutes, one thing, one difficult place, then change to the other, completely different, and then change, and then come back to the one. But instead of playing A, B, C, and say A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, and you will stay much more focused first. Second, you won't tire the same group of muscles because you're going to switch from one problem to another. What's in piano, it's really, really crucial not to play chords 1 hour, yeah, repeatedly. And other stuff, same problems. And also it prepares you to the stage because you do not create kind of context, yeah, kind of context that to play Bach beautifully, I need 1 hour to make my Baroque context. It never happens on stage unless you play the Baroque recital. Usually you play, like when I see CDs from Cochrane competition and the concerts of the pianists I had the chance to work with, during one recital you change really technical problems and style. So you need to do it like this, and the hand need to be ready and the head need to be ready. Yeah. So try to practice like this. Yeah. And it's also like performance practice.
Yeah. And the next question. Why should we practice without instrument?
Mental preparation. So this is like, there is not a single musician who had worked with me and who was not obliged by me if they didn't want by themselves to learn mental practice, because first I believe, and then I have proofs, also scientific, that mental practice makes us learn quicker, better, for a longer period of time, and it's also preventive for injuries. Yeah. Why? I think it's proven from 60s of 20th century through biofeedback research, but not only, you use it in sports, that for our nervous system to be very like simple, yeah, for processing the movement on a neurological level, there is no different if the situation is in your imagination or if it's real. Because even if you do the movement in reality, the first thing your brain do is projecting the image on your cortex. Yeah. So you can learn, and learning means make the connection between neurons, make synapses stronger, yeah, without pushing any key on your piano, without moving your fingers. What means? You save your fingers and your forearms and your arms and your back, everything, yeah, and also you save the possibility to learn something in the wrong way. If you take the new piece that it's challenging for you, and in this new piece there is a passage that it's really challenging for you, and you play this 10 times, you know, you just, how many times are you going to play it without any wrong notes or like correctly?
I assume 3-4 times.
Yes. And what did you learn? What do you believe you learn? Okay, so you practice, you played well 3 to 4 times, and the rest 6 to 7 was like close but not correct.
So I played it wrong.
You learn everything. Each time you've been repeating, this movement, you've been creating neural connections. And if it was the same, you make them stronger. It's like creating a new road. If you take a car in the middle of the field and you let it ride once, then you don't have a highway. Yeah? And if you take 4 times the same road and 6 times the others, then you have 7 roads. One is bigger, but not truly. Yeah. But if you can send thousands of cars in the same direction, then you will have a highway.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will be you seen from the cosmos. And this is about the strength of neural connections. So because of material problems, yes, to press the key, it's the right key in the right time and then in the right color and everything what you want. It's difficult. You don't have this kind of automatism yet. This is why it's difficult for you. And if you do it in a real way, then you have a lot of obstacles to do it well. It's natural. In your head, you have no obstacles. You know your instrument because you're a professional now, yeah? And you can really imagine everything you do. How do you move? What do you feel? What do you hear in your mind? And you create this neural connection. You make it stronger. And in your mind, it's only you and yourself who decide, did you play well or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you imagine a few times and then you go to play, it means that you have already this strong connection. Yeah. So the risk of playing wrong notes is much lower. It's all about this, and it's so simple. It is not so simple to introduce if you never did it. I would say how to play. It's really like first be very nice to yourself, and if you need to move your fingers without keyboard, just let it do. Yeah, not be too hard. Don't be too hard with yourself. Remember about imagination of like multi senses, yeah, multi-sensory image. So not only the movement, but also what do you feel? Yeah, so what do you project to your piano, the movement, and what do you feel from keys, from your body, from how do you sit, from your feet? Yeah, so movement, feeling, and then the sound, the music production, and try to go maybe step by step, and after imagination, everything at the same time, and at the end play once, and it's not a test. You just continue. Okay, I played, and then the very important moment. Tell yourself what was good. What are you happy with? There is always something. What do you want to keep? Do not be this bad teacher I told before for yourself. Be the best teacher in the world for yourself. Okay? So tell yourself, that was fine. I want to keep this, even if it was just the first note, or even this was the tempo. Yes? But or the comfort of playing. Yeah, that was good. And then one thing you want to correct, and start from the beginning. You should play mental practice in this like short parts of your repertoire, and not more than 15 minutes at once. It's 15 minutes work like this. It's really super tiring, and you need to rest.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Yeah. That's my secret weapon.
Okay, so what can we do to prepare for a concert or exam or any other powerful performance?
What we need to do to prepare performance? Wow, I would say the goals. Yeah, what do you want to reach? And I mean, in any like coaching, yeah, even business coaching, they will ask you for your goals. And I think if as musician we do one thing wrong, that we set our goals that are depending of the others and not of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You cannot choose the goal, I want to enter to this orchestra, or I want to win this competition, because it's not up to you to decide. Yeah. the goal must be depending on you. And the second thing, the goal must be, you must be aware, how do you recognize if you reach the goal and how much you reach the goal, in the, like, you know, on which level. It's never like black and white. I reach, I did not. It's usually I reach in a minimal level, or normal or optimal, yeah. And so it's about recordings or about somebody you trust that can tell you. Then I think every performance would be creative for you, will push you for the next, and you can analyze, yeah. It was my goals, I can check how much I reached them and decide if my preparation was okay or not. And then you can see, okay, if I would like to reach this kind of goal in a better way next time, so what can I change in my preparation? And then I would say always work hygiene.
Yeah. Okay, so two more questions before we will give the space to our participants. It's obvious that our emotions affect our playing, yes? But a fear of failure, of having a memory lapse, of not being able or not being as good as your friend.
Oh, yeah.
So this negative chatter in our head.
This voice, yeah.
This voice. How we can get rid of it? You know, even before the performance, you know, because it's...
sometimes it's 2 days before, yeah?
Yeah, sometimes it's 2 days before, but...
if we speak about this tiny voice in your head that used to be very precise and used to tell you things about yourself that are really unpleasant, like, we'll give an example, I won't do it, it would be a disaster, yeah? I'm not good enough, or they think I'm not good enough, yeah? Or they heard what I did, or they don't like me, or anything, yeah? Or
the jury is scoffing. Oh yes, it's the sign of...
But usually it's very short. It's very short. This kind of it's about me, and it's unpleasant, and it uses like 4 of this, I would say, tricky stuff, like thinking about the future, like predicting the future. We have no idea about the future, luckily, but we like to predict the future. It will be a disaster. Yeah. Then thinking about what other people think.
Yeah.
They don't like me. Yeah. They are laughing on me. Or thinking about like catastrophe, using words like, yes, catastrophe, disaster, wrong, and then generalization. Like, we don't think about precise thing, but we used to think, oh, that was awful. I mean, everything was awful from the very first note to the very end of your recital. No, that was awful. Yeah? So this generalization. So this kind of thoughts are kind of reflects of your very deep inner beliefs. That on conscious level, we do not have access to this. And this is the work for a psychotherapist, and a very good one, and who has experienced the work with musicians, artists. And I would say it's not necessary to get rid of this voice, but it's a very good trip to do, just to know yourself better, yeah, and to accept yourself. However, there are techniques that you can use without psychotherapy just to get rid of these thoughts, yeah, and or make them more real, so not disturbing. I cannot share with a group and online the techniques how you can work with your negative thoughts, because it's very individual. However, how you can turn off them during performance or just before, it's common to all of us. because every single human brain can think about one thing at a time, only one thing. Sometimes women believe that we can think about many things at the same time, but it's not true. We can switch very quickly. So if you have a disturbing thought, like you play the wrong note and then it's so you first, it's to decide what do you want to think. Yeah, and you need to know what you want to think, because it's not enough to say I don't want to think about this, because that's working. You need to do the precise order to your brain. I want to think about this crescendo. I want now, I'm thinking about this soft piano. Need to be now, mindfulness. Now this, I'm playing that. It's good to prepare your piece as, I would say, a guide for the people that would like to follow you, like in a city, you have a city and this is the piece and you know it best, even sometimes better than the composer who saw it last time 20 years ago on paper, yeah? And you're just working on this since 6 months every day. So prepare these moments, be ready that in a situation of a disaster, yeah, then now I'm showing them the most beautiful, single notes that I have to play here, and then you just get rid of this. And if this kind of negative thoughts attacked you before performance, it's good to use techniques to think about something else, and it can be a single play. Like I don't know, you if you learn French, then you tell yourself, I'm waiting in my waiting room to go to the competition, room, and then I will try to describe you the room in French, but it must be challenging but not frustrating. Yeah. So if you do not French well enough to be happy with the result, don't do it. But you can try to spell your family's member's name backwards. Can you do this?
Not now.
Try, please, try.
Okay, so my sister nickname is Booby.
Okay.
So UB, yes?
Okay, what were you thinking about this when you were thinking
about the letters?
And nothing else?
Nothing else.
That's yeah. So you gave just few seconds of rest.
Yeah.
And if you take a few minutes of rest, like, I don't know, your favorite soccer club, every single name, from backwards, then you are sure you will be concentrated. It's easy enough it's doable, but it's challenging, so it will take your consciousness, and you will give rest, and then automatic negative thoughts are on the set. Yeah, they are just turned off for this moment.
So I've got thousands of questions, more questions, but just the tiny last questions from me. What should we do when we feel the pain?
Yes, I would say accept. This is your body telling you something. Please don't do this to me. Pain is an alarm signal from your body, the best friend you have in the world, to your consciousness, because probably you did not listen to your body before when there was only discomfort. So it must go to another level, higher level, pain. It's an alarm, and it's to make you aware, there's something wrong. So accept, and try not to eat painkillers as a monkey, because it doesn't help. It's like about turning off the alarm in the house that is under fire. It doesn't help to diminish the fire. It's just the alarm is not ringing anymore. And try to find the cause. Why I have pain. And for this, it's good to analyze what were you practicing, how long, why. Take rest, drink a lot of water. Try to measure how much you can play before it occurs next time. It's important to continue practicing. So you take a clock and you measure and you play like normal. not like crazy, but regular. You warm up and then you practice normally, and you measure. If the pain occurs after 5 minutes, then play 2 minutes, have a break, and continue playing. Yeah. If it's 20 minutes, it's easier. Yeah. But so that you will get rid of frustration that I cannot play. Yes, you can. You need to do this in a very smart way.
And you can work with your imagination.
Of course.
Then.
And
visualization.
Then use, I would try to really use relaxation technique, regeneration technique. If you were instructed correctly, you may try to stretch, but be easy with this. And you may, and it's for pianists, I would say, very often is the first pain we try to have problem. It's about the forearm, yeah, here. So the region of our extensors and rotators, yeah, but especially finger and wrist extensors is very open here. So if it's kind of pain that you feel that the hand is getting reddish, hot, yeah, bigger than usually, you can use ice to help tissue regenerate quicker, because it's kind of inflammatory problems usually in a muscle, in a tendon. And if it's this situation, I speak about this condition because it's super often, yeah, it's like I would say 90% of problems is with pianists. Then you can use ice, but not just compress of ice. It's not healthy. It's about massaging, because we need to massage this region, but we do not want to make them warmer. Yeah. So if you take ice cube or huge ice cube, it's better to produce a huge ice cube and to take a cloth around this and massage this region with a huge ice cube, and then rest, not play afterwards, of course. Few times a day, it will help the tissue to get rid of inflammatory process. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? Guys, we've got a chat if you do not want to say it.
What was the name of the book? What was the name of the book?
Can you, Suyang Yoon, can you just tell us one more time? Yeah, thank you.
Oh. I'll check.
Yes, we are listening.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the name of the book? The Pomodoro Technique.
Yes.
Pomodoro Technique. Yes, yes. Great. Do you have other questions? Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. We have one more question, because one time I read that you should practice your best playing with your worst state. For example, like you are out of bed. For example, right now I'm just sleepy and tired, and you should go to your instrument and try to play your best, because they told us that it will help you with practicing for competition. For example, like you are very nervous and get a really small amount of sleep, and you go to a competition, to the stage, and in your worst state, you were prepared to play at your best, at your very high level. Or should you practice at your very relaxed and get really good sleep? Or it makes sense to you, or not really, to practice your worst state?
Practice or perform, play. I mean, because it's a different thing, you know, for me. I would say if you're really bad today, you're kind of sick, from my point of view, you need to adapt your practicing way to this stage. If not, you're just hurting yourself. You're doing something against your organism that needs to be regenerated, and you try to force it more, yeah? However, I can understand the idea of trying to perform when you're not on your top level, yeah? To get kind of awareness, yes? First, it's doable, and second, I know how it tastes, yeah? I know what can happen.
They told us to become more familiar in your worst state,
yeah.
That you have to perform. There is no other way. For example, this competition.
Yes, I understand. So I would say what's more important is to prepare kind of luggage of energy that you can use when you can't, because it's very often you just took a plane, you have a jet lag, yeah, and you need to perform. But if you took really care of yourself during the preparation time, yeah, if you know your circadian rhythm, and then this jet lag, it's something you can deal easily. You take what to eat, how to move, what exercises to do, and then you're not going to be on your worst on the stage. That's first thing to do. And about what you talk, I would say this is for me a problem to train in visualization, relaxation, relax visualization techniques. So it's mental training for performance. It's different from what I explained, mental training for practicing of difficult stuff. Mental training of performance comes from extreme sports. And extreme sports are so risky for our health and for our life that nobody will let you to train in your worst condition, because you're just going to die, yeah? So, yeah, so a mental practice for performance means that you can, in a very deep relax, live your stress. You can live the tiredness, you can live your mental stress, and if you do it correctly, then you will feel in your body that you have shaking hands, cold sweat, that you're this memory lapses, yeah, and if you train that, if you know the tools how to deal with this, and this is about real preparation, then you can use them like tense and release, yeah, the muscles that are shaking or something, or breathing exercise that you can do that helps for your heart beating so fast and everything, and memory losses. Then you can do it when you live this performance in your head, and then you then you learn how to deal with this. Of course, you can. I don't think it would be risky at all if you have a bad day and then you try to play, yes, to check, yes, can I really concentrate and motivate myself to the best. However, if you do it without warm up, yeah, just you go, you play, and you're in a bad condition, I would say it could be risky. I wouldn't do it to myself.
I'm really, really sorry, but it's time to end our webinar. We've got a limited internet here. I'm really sorry. So thank you, Isia.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, so some of you are still here.
Okay, nice. We still have internet connection. One more question? No questions?
Okay.
So if I can use the end of the webinar?
Yes.
Because it's a very, very, very special day for my mom. It's her birthday, and I cannot be with her. She's 500 kilometers from the place we are. So I would like to wish her the best, and I will do it in Polish if I can.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Wszystkiego najlepszego, mamo, z okazji urodzin. Bardzo mocno Cię całuję, kocham Cię i do szybkiego zobaczenia.
Do zobaczenia. Bye bye.
Bye,
See
bye.
you soon. Bye. See you next month. Bye.